shoot. I'm not even mic'd up.
Are you live?
That should be.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. Well, I don't have my little fluffy thing to...
So you know this is a little delayed.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very delayed.
Yes.
Very delayed.
All right. Will you let me know when a couple more people join, maybe? That way I can...
Yeah, I'm the only one in right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that's going to be very distracting.
I'll turn it down.
That's fine. Yeah, you got it live, bud, so...
I got a live.
The liverist.
Picker 6623.
Welcome to the live stream. Taylor's on. Oh. Let's see.
You got 4 people in now.
Hey, welcome everybody. We're trying something a little different with the filming. Got a friend here helping. Ooh. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this fire started up. We're gonna go ahead and trying something different with the forge.
Sorry if I butcher anyone's name.
Yeah, I got someone reading the chat to me this time. Joey, or Tim, however you know him as. He's helping me read chat today. All right. Oh, it's fine. All right, welcome. Yeah, we're going to be doing a couple things. Welcome everyone. I would just read it out whenever there's like questions and stuff, or like people are saying stuff. So we're going to be finishing up the heat treatment on this knife for this guy over here. So we're going to be giving it one more heat cycle. We're going to let it get up to critical temperature and then cool back down to just about room temperature. Sorry, I got to adjust my forge for a second. We got trying out something new with the forge. Got some bricks in the front and back. Sounds like it's not getting enough oxygen. She's struggling a bit. I think I'm going to move it back a bit. That's much better. You want that even blow. Sorry, a little distracted at the beginning of this one, guys. I get this dialed in. Like I said, this is something I haven't really tried out before. Should once I get it dialed in a bit. It should be a lot better, a lot more efficient. Appreciate the patience while we're having some technical difficulties. Actually, it's sounding, I think we'll call that good. I think that's good enough. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heat treating this, get it up to critical temperature. There's some mistakes on these little pieces I worked on last time that I need to fix. This one's got a little bit of a warp that I wasn't able to grind out. Get that addressed. get this quenched and everything. Also got to fix this eye, get that straightened out as well, figure out how to do that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. How many people we got? 27, wow. Definitely appreciate you guys watching. Very much appreciate you guys. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. I think I'm at 499 at the beginning of this. Okay, I'm at 501 apparently. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Thanks everyone for watching. Really exciting now, because now I get to do my 500 subscriber giveaway, where I'm going to make a fire kit, a little belt pouch to carry it in. So I'm going to forge a steel for flint and steel, and I'm also going to obviously the belt pouch, I'm going to have a little tin for the flint and steel. I'm going to make char cloth. It's going to be a little primitive fire kit. I'm going to have a ferrocerium rod in there too, so it's like a full little fire kit. I'll put some tinder in there, maybe some like punk wood, different fire starting stuff. It'll be cool. But I've been really excited because now I actually get to work on that. I didn't want to start working on it until I was at 500. We're gonna straighten this guy out. Missing what? Connect cut? Oh, Connecticut. No, I'm located out in Missouri. I hear Connecticut's a beautiful place though. Never been myself. Straightening, doing some little taps on here just to get this straightened out a bit. Yeah, I need to address that a little bit. Gotta take me a second to dial this in just to get it good. Forging a little colder than you should, but I'm not giving it any hard strikes. I'm just doing little taps to kind of straighten it out. This is a knife I'm making for my assistant today, my sometimes cameraman, Joey. I think that's just about good. On the back end, we're going to straighten out the front a little bit. This is a knife. I don't know if you caught the last live stream, everyone who's here, but this is a knife made from a bullpen, which is a tool that the iron workers use. But yeah, we're going to get that up to critical temperature. Then we're going to let it cool down to room temperature or outside temperature, whatever you want to call it. It's got to be not cool to the touch, but can't be hot. And what that does is it relaxes the grain structure of the steel. So when you forge it, it puts a lot of stress on the metal. So doing this, which is called normalization, makes it a lot tougher. It relieves a lot of the stress and issues that have been put into the steel through the forging process. Just gonna move my workpiece back and forth now to get a nice even heat. And yeah, pretty much what this is going to do is just relax the steel. It gives you a lot better of a product in the end. Just about up to temperature. So you get it just about where you want it. Mama's Kitchen? I have been to Mama's Kitchen, yeah. Yeah, I have been there. I haven't been in a while, but yeah, they've got some good stuff there. I think she's looking pretty straight for the most part. Maybe a little tip tap just to get a little bit of a kink out of it. We're doing the fine little stuff because we're done with the forging on this. We're just letting it cool off, so. Blueberry pancakes. I don't know if that's what I got last time. But yeah, Tony, I used to actually work with you back in my fast food days, back at Taco Bell. I don't know if you remember that, but I was there the day you quit. Too much drama for YouTube. So now we're gonna let this is up to temperature. We're gonna let this cool off to touchable. Can you see where I'm putting it? Joey?
Okay, I thought so. Perfect.
Do I?
Tony Hilton, okay, I thought so. Perfect.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. But yeah, sweet. Cool. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and address the issues on this knife, which is just a little bit of crookedness. When it quenched, it did that. You can kind of see it veers off that way a little bit. I'm just going to heat it again. We're going to have to quench it again, which I usually don't like to do, but these small, thin knives, sometimes it's just you gotta. Might work on a couple little side pieces while I'm doing this, but once I keep this piece moving, so I'm going to be focused on this, but once this is up to temperature and we get done correcting all the issues from the last forge, we're going to be doing some metal casting, some cool stuff. Now that I've hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to do my big giveaway where I do the fire pouch, and then I'm also going to do a couple shorts and TikToks where I go to local places, which, sorry if you're subscribed to me and you're not local, but I've got a lot of local supporters, so I want to kind of do something for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast some cool pieces out of brass and then leave them around town and film that. So, you know, first come, first serve. So if you're interested in getting something for free, you know, make sure you're subscribed so you can catch that video. Since I did quench this, I'm going to normalize this one as well, which is why we want to do the casting now, because I'm going to have a little bit of time to kill. Just about straightened out. Got a little bit of warp in the tip. Just gonna get her straightened out. So usually why I try not to forge this thin, I usually try to leave the whole knife edge about as thick as a nickel. This one's about as thick as a dime, which every time I do this, I remind myself why I don't do this, because it warps really bad when it's this thin. Usually for a short blade, it's not that big a deal, but show you guys kind of, I don't know how well you can see. I took that, most of that warp out of there. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna normalize this one. Got a new brush. Well, new to me at least. Get this forge scale off of here. This was a generous donation from my father-in-law, who's a farrier. This thing's a lot better than the little piece of the little brass one I had before. So this one's be a lot better. So we're gonna let this one cool off too. It's gonna take a minute. Now we're gonna address the eye hole on this. You can kind of see how this comes in a little bit much. I'm going to try to take this to the tip of my anvil, spread that out a little bit more, because that way it'll be a little bit bigger, so I can have a bigger stick on this warhammer, and it'll be a little bit more even. I didn't check that. Got a little caught up doing my live stream, so we'll quench that too. Plus I also forgot to quench the face of the hammer, which is the flat part. So we'll address that too. Lost my assistant for a second. That's okay. But yeah, so a couple other things are going to change. I had a I had a friend who's a really awesome graphic designer make me a logo. So now that I've hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to debut that too, show that. Let's see. Zero Agenda, that's awesome. Rock on, brother. Yeah, sorry I'm reading all these. I had my phone turned around. Let's see. Yeah, rock on, brother. That's awesome. Yeah, very cool. Welcome, everyone. Got 59 people watching. Wow. Heck yeah, that's good for me. Yeah, welcome, everyone. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your lives and watching me mess around with a forge. Do some other things. I should be hopefully getting back to the woods soon. It's kind of difficult with a new baby, and I don't want to leave, mom at home alone too often. This is kind of nice because if she gets overwhelmed, we've got an almost 2-year-old and a couple-month-old. Oh, not even a couple months, a month and some change old. And yeah, it's if you're a parent, it's a bit of a challenge. About up to heat on this Warhammer, and then once I get that fixed up, I'm gonna let that cool off and normalize as well. Check on these; those are still very hot. It's amazing how long metal will hold on to heat. Like when I get done forging, I have to let this forge cool off maybe 6-7 hours before I can move it back in without having to worry about burning my house down. Got this guy up to temperature. I'm gonna go ahead and tap it on without trying to mess up the eye hole on the top too much. Oh yeah. 87 viewers, welcome everyone, awesome. But yeah, see it's a little bit more even, so I opened it up, so I'm gonna open up this top hole because whenever you make axes or hammers or anything of the like, you like to have it where the eye hole on the top is a little bit bigger, so when you put a wedge in the top and split the top like that, see there's a metal wedge in there, it'll hold in there a little bit better. And yes, I've had some people tell me that my hammer's upside down, and yes, I know. It came like that, and I thought it was kind of quirky, so thought I'd leave it. 3 new subs, wow. Heck yeah, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I know I keep saying that, but I know we got new people coming in, so. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing that giveaway. Once this is done, I'm gonna start doing the casting. I'm gonna forge. I'm gonna walk you guys through the process. I'm gonna have my assistant here. Pick up the camera. I'm gonna bring you guys over here so I can show you this whole casting process, because I think it's kind of cool. It's definitely different than this, because you heat the metal and you beat it. This, I'm gonna be completely melting the metal. I have I know a lot of people who don't really, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Oh no, those fire brakes they're tough. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one more heat. I'm gonna do this, let this normalize. I'm gonna brush off the forge scale, which is just like rust, but thicker, comes off in big flakes. We're gonna get that cleaned up, because last time I had a little bit of an incident where I got popped in the eye with a piece of 2,000 degree forge scale. Let that get back up to temperature, and my mom yelled at me for not having eye protection, and I could not find my eye protection, so I'm not doing a whole lot of like forging today, so this should be thank you, I appreciate it. My friend brought me a brush that he had, but this one's a little different. But yeah, all right, get this guy in there. Yeah, we're gonna start the casting process. Huh? 92, holy crap. I think the most I've had watching my live stream at once. Actually, I think this is a record. Welcome everyone who's new. Consider subscribing. We're going to be doing some cool giveaways here in a little bit. A little bit shorter of a live stream today because I'm already, at 500. So we're going to do the metal casting, and then I'm going to go out and film hiding 2 new subs. Thank you guys. Gonna go and put those gifts for you guys, hide them around town for you guys to find, little scavenger hunt. So that's right where we want it. I would like to make it a little bit bigger, but I don't have a drift to put through here. So yeah, we're gonna let that cool off, get up to room temperature, and then I'm gonna get set up over here for, actually no, I had one more project, sorry. I had one more project I wanted to do, because how many? 101, heck yeah. Don't need these anymore. Welcome everyone. New record for the channel from one viewers, but what I'm gonna be doing right now is I'm gonna forge a belt buckle for myself because I had a crappy one from Walmart, the really bad quality buckle that I took off and it shattered when it hit the ground. So I'm gonna make something that's not gonna shatter. I'm gonna make something that's hopefully gonna last a long time. Water. Yeah. But yeah, anyone have any questions or anything about forging or on my channel or myself or anything like that? Go ahead and get this guy going. You hear that pop? That's because I put a little water on the anvil and it'll, if you do it right, it'll pop really well. And actually, yeah, this is the perfect size hammer, so I'm gonna use that as a guy. I kind of marked on my anvil how thick I wanted this to be. For my belt buckle, because I took my belt in, raining, so I didn't want to get it wet. So I'm gonna kind of match the curvature of this hammer as a guide for how big I want this belt buckle to be. Two new subs, wow. I'd say this is my best live stream so far. 508 altogether? Wow, heck yeah, I'm so excited. I'm really excited now I get to do this 500 subscriber giveaway because it's gonna be cool. I've been really looking forward to it. Basically right now all I'm doing is trying to shape this out, trying to figure out how I want to do this. I have a piece at the end of this that I think I'm going to chop off real quick. I've got another donation to the channel I'm going to use to do that. That'd be this guy, which is a Hardy tool, Hardy cutoff tool. Sits in this little hole that are in most anvils, that's why they're here. Put it in there, you set your metal on it, and then you cut that way. And that was a donation from my father-in-law as well. Farrier, really cool guy. He saw me using the axe, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. It works really well, but it's definitely not the most efficient or safe or good. It's not the best. I think we got a little bit of a, yep, I got a bearing in the back of this holding my fire bricks up, and it's starting to burn the grease off of it. So it may get a little smoky over here. I may have to address that here in a second. May have to say forget the fire bricks in the back. Yeah, so we're going to cut this tip off. So right about there, just give it a tap. Make sure you're in the cut that you've already got. Once you get to a certain point, you can just knock it in. Whoop. Catch a little bit of grass on fire, that's okay. You're going to round off where you just made your cut. Usually I would try to grind this little tip out, but I mean, not that big a deal this time. It's going to be a belt buckle. I'm going to do some final shaping on my belt sander anyway. But right now we're taking this round bar, turning it into a square bar, because I want it to be a square belt buckle. Round I think is a little boring. This way it'll also show, you know, it's been worked on. I'm going to leave some hammer marks in. It'll be really really rough. I'll knock one of these fire bricks out of here. Might set a little bit of my grass on fire, but I think that's going to work better for us. Yeah, that forge is already feeling a lot better. But yeah, these fire bricks are crazy. Oh, I just cracked one. I smacked it a little hard with this piece of metal I was putting in, man. Yep. Oh yeah, it is definitely warping though. I think these ones are too thin, but you can, I'm probably gonna make a video about how to do like budget forging if you guys are interested in learning how to do that and do something, you know, it's pretty, it's hard nowadays, especially with the way the world is. I want to invest a lot of money in learning a new skill or buying a bunch of new tools. Let's see where I'm at. Length, I'm gonna draw it up a little bit more. But yeah, it's real hard to invest a bunch of money. So I think I'm gonna do like a budget forge setup and everything. Show you guys how to do that. Try to keep it under $100 for a forge. And a lot of the tools that are required, because I mean a lot of my tools, like I've been using this hammer since I started, and I mean I think I picked this up at a flea market for like a couple bucks, like $2. Flea markets are the best. And Facebook Marketplace is really good for picking up stuff. You can, if you're really on it, really watch it, you can pick up really fantastic deals on anvils. It's been really hard to not pick up extra anvils just because I can, because they're so well priced. So basically what I'm going to do with this shape is I'm going to make a essentially just a regular belt buckle. I have another belt buckle I can show you guys on. Let's see if I can get this to So I'm bringing it with me. So, huh? No, that's good. I just was going to set it down while I was looking for this. So I'm essentially kind of forge something like this. This is a Viking Age one. Is that too close? Is that good? So I'm going to try to forge this shape, but it's more squared, and have it come up. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, it's going to come up and just be a shape. I might try to cast another one of these today if we've got extra brass and extra time. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys how the whole casting process works after I get done with this little extra project. I'm going to forge a little bit extra, more than I think I need, just so I can have enough room. I'm going to try to overlay it. You know, heck, I might even try to do a forge weld. Be pretty spiffy. Even if it doesn't work, I can always just add another, I can drill a hole through it and put a rivet in there. It'll look pretty rustic that way anyway. Yeah, any questions in chat or anything? No? Cool. 136 viewers, heck yeah. Welcome everyone who's new. Doing a little forging out here today, as I'm sure you can gather. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely give myself a little extra room. Do a little little bit more than I think I'm going to need to. I'm going to be honest, I've never forged a belt buckle before. I've seen lots of other people do it though, so we're going to give the old college try. We're going to get one more heat and we're going to start bending it. Yeah, I'm going to definitely keep an eye on the channel for the stuff I'm going to be casting today. I'm going to hide that locally. Don't want to say the exact town I'm in, but if you're local, you'll know. So I'm going to probably take I'm going to go to like popular public places, you know, do a little pan around, and then it'll show me setting it down. And then, you know, first come, first serve, first one to grab it, it's yours. 172 viewers, heck yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and start just turning that around to get it kind of quick in there. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do that, square off this top, and then I'm going to curve this all the way around to the back. Make that a little bit smaller, pull a little bit tighter. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna open that back up on the next heat. Just wanted to make sure there'd be enough room to get through. Square everything back up again. Make sure everything's in line. I should have done a twist on this. That would have been really cool. But I'm a little far away from my vise. If I had thought about it, I would set up over here. But I don't really have anything to do that on right now. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten this out a bit. Knock down some of those sharp edges. Alright, yeah. This is the exact way you'd make a handle for like a fire poker or something you were wanting to put a handle on, maybe like a s'more poker. Oh, another new bit of news. Maybe a little early to tell you guys, but I did set up an Etsy shop. It's going to be the same name as my channel, Mystic Forge Outdoors. I don't have any items listed yet, but hopefully soon I will. I should pretty soon here have some extra stuff made. I might cast a couple extra pieces. 206 viewers. Welcome everyone who's new. Yeah. I'll be putting all kinds of stuff on there eventually. I need to build up some stock. I'm going to put some knives in there. I'm going to put some maybe like little stuff like this. Winging this isn't going exactly how I wanted it to go, but I think it'll be okay. I think it's going to be more of an oval. The belt will sit right about here. I'll make a little thing to go across, put a little divot right in here. Use my fancy schmancy poker. So yeah, right about here there'll be a divot for I don't even know what the name of the thing is. The little needle-like spider web burning off. Little needle-like thing that sits across your belt. Your pin? Maybe? I'm not sure. Do you know? Class? That sounds not wrong. But yeah, I'll make all kinds of stuff. Outdoor stuff. Some, I do like cast like coins and stuff. In fact, the thing I'm going to show you guys how to do the casting with, I'm going to start with a coin. It's like a good luck, old world symbol coin thing, astrology type thing that I found, and I thought it was really cool, so I made like a little coin. And I'll show you guys how to make that, but I'll put stuff up like that, and you know, just stuff I like making, really. I've lost my hammer. New hammer, there it is. Use this guy. I kind of want to bring this in a bit. I'm going to straighten this out. Straighten that out. it. It's okay that I'm forging, you know, this is just a mild steel, so this doesn't need to be treated. Huh? 513, wow. So yeah, I've gotten 14 subs since it started. That's really awesome, guys. Yeah, I think we're just about the shape I like. I kind of brought that back in more. So I think I'm gonna cut here, close it up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll have to cut it there. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to fit in there. And then I'll be able to bring this end in, flatten that out, and then maybe we'll try a forge weld. Give her another heat, take a look at her. Just kind of winging it. Starting to sprinkle a little bit. You know, we're gonna keep working rain or shine. I've already got my high-tech rain protection system for my filming apparatus, my phone, and it's just a wool hat on top. Yeah. But yeah, thanks again everyone for subscribing. Sorry, this is heating up pretty quick, so I'm trying to focus on that. Sorry, I'm not jabbering as much as I usually do. But yeah, we're just kind of. Yeah, I really love this cutting tool. Thank you so much, Eddie, if you're watching this. Yeah, so we kind of got that shape in there. Yeah, that's so much easier. I mean, that took half the time that you normally would for me to do that. Awesome. Switch back to tongs because I'm going to cut that once it comes back out. Already got a divot to show where I want to put that. I don't think we're going to try forge weld this time. I think we're going to just cut her off. I think we're going to put a rivet on it when it's done. Definitely, I'm going to let her heat back up. And we definitely going to definitely be a rough and tumble one. Nothing too fancy. I'm really excited to show you guys the casting because I haven't done any casting on this channel except for a couple shorts. Got my squirt bottle. It's crazy because it looks like just a normal piece of steel. It's amazing how much heat these things will hold on to, and you won't know. And I mean, if you're a blacksmith or a knife maker or whatever, you know, you grab a hot piece of steel. When you first start, you probably grab it one time, and it's usually just about that. That's about the only time. Yeah, that works so well. What we're gonna do now, we thinned it out most of the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and tilt back and forth. Perfect. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is eventually, whenever this is done, I'm gonna clean up these edges with the grinder, and then I'm going to put a rivet through there. I do want to straighten this out a little bit more and make it a little more even, and then we're gonna work on the pokey bit. Yeah, that's about where I want it. To be working on it, but I'm going to go ahead and tap it in. Now I can get in here and kind of close it up a little bit more because I want this to be a little bit smaller. I think it's a bit big for a belt buckle. 520. Thanks to all the new subs. Yeah, there we go. That's the size. Perfect. 277 viewers, holy crap. Welcome everyone. Wow, that's incredible. Really appreciate you guys watching. You guys came in at a good time. About to do my 500 subscriber giveaway. Probably it's gonna take me a couple days to make the stuff, do the editing and everything. But you know, actually I think I'll forge on the live stream. I'm gonna forge the fire steel I was gonna make. And I can clip it out later while I got the forge running. I'm gonna use some really good quality 1095 steel blanks. It's a little rusty, but that's, you know, that's okay. This is USA Steel is the name of the company that makes these, and they're really really a fantastic company. I mean, I really believe in keeping as much business in America as possible. I have to take a brief intermission. I got something, that bearing's starting to catch on fire, so I'm gonna go ahead and just move that stuff before anything gets out of control. Nothing too serious, just this little bearing I was using is just in the way, so we're gonna do something with it. Put it on here? Yeah, that sounds good to me. Nothing too serious. Ooh, a little excitement on the live stream. Should be good. Make sure nothing's on fire over here. That should be okay. Just gotta be aware now I've got multiple hot things out of here. Sorry for the sirens. I live in town, unfortunately. Nothing wrong with living in the city. In the town, it's just not quite for me. I am forging right now. I'm forging a belt buckle while I'm waiting for these knives to cool off so I can quench them. 2 knives and a war hammer. Just doing some live forge, just making a nice little belt buckle for myself because I need one. And it's always fun to make stuff for yourself as opposed to buying it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, call that good, and then we're going to... Actually, I have an important step. I hope they're not coming here. I've seen lots of YouTubers who forge, make a little bit of smoke or something, and then the fire department shows up, and then that's like a whole thing. But I mean... I don't think they're coming this way. Do I? Heck yeah. Yeah, awesome. I've picked up like 25 subscribers just this live stream. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. Excited for I'm really excited now to be able to do my my giveaway. I've been sitting right at 500 and something. Step off camera, get the smoke out of here. Set this down somewhere a little safer. It should be fine. But yeah, I've been really excited about doing my my giveaway. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna forge. Figure out which end of this I want to be the front. It's gonna be the front because it's prettier. I'm gonna set it on here and give it a couple taps, and that'll be the place where the little pokey bit, you know, in the belt buckles, I don't know what they're called, but little pokey bit's gonna wrap around here and it's gonna sit across there. Belt buckle's gonna be, or the belt's gonna come in here. Yeah, and I'm just gonna flatten that out and do that. So now there's a little recess for that to sit in. If anyone in the chat knows, you know, the anatomy of a belt, tell me what that little pokey bit's called, because that's gonna drive me nuts. Or actually, Assistant Joey, would you want to Google that real quick? Do you think you could Google what the pokey bit is called on a belt? Go ahead and get this in the fire. Get this heated up because this is what I'm going to forge the pokey bit out of. It's always good to have 2 things in the forge at once because you're being a lot more efficient with your fuel. Place to put this now. Huh? A prong or a tongue. So I'm going to call it a prong because a tongue sounds too freaky for my liking. So I'm going to go ahead and get this little end bit chopped off. this out of here. Get most of a thingy. That I like that more even. So we'll call it a thingy. Go ahead. Welcome. Thanks for joining the community. Thanks for subscribing. Pew pew. Appreciate it. Get these little edges rounded off so they don't burn up. Welcome anyone who's new. We're just doing a little forging, making a belt buckle for myself while we wait for these other projects to cool off. Do other things with them. Let's check to see if they're. That one's just about ready. My assistant today, Joey, is this knife is for him, so I'm sure he's pretty excited.
Definitely.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and flatten that out. I'm just gonna fold that over, honestly. Put it over the edge of the anvil. Tap, tap, tap. Bring that back over. And then realize you've made a horrible mistake. That looks like garbage. 527. Welcome everyone. I think we're gonna shelf this. I think I need to. I'm gonna work on that a little later, I think, because our more important project is cool enough to touch. Man, that thing is loud. So we're gonna go ahead and preheat our oil. I've got a good sacrificial piece of steel here that we don't really care about. We're gonna put that in there. Burn any paint off or anything. Oops, get it up the center of this for no reason. It's crazy. When you heat steel, it just becomes so. How long have I? Oh gosh. Well, I mean, Joe, you were there for the beginning. Gosh, 10 years? 9-10 years, yeah. Now, I did take a break for a while because moved and had some other stuff going on, have some kids, so I had a couple years off. But yeah, I've been making knives and other tools and forging. I've been doing it about 10 years. We'll call it 10. Figure out where to put this. Now that I've made the mistake of getting it hot in the middle for no reason. That did not work. Yep, that's still real hot. We're gonna go ahead and cool this end off. Sizzle, sizzle. Got a little bucket down here of water. And I don't know, I guess I'll set it here. Don't trip on that. Me. So, go ahead and switch back to my big tongs. This big knife. This thing's a really cool knife. My favorite thing I've made, you know, probably honestly, and I got it on me right now, at least like as far as knives and things I've forged, I've got this knife, which I do outdoor like bushcraft stuff too. That's what kind of drew me to knife making. I forged this little guy just as an experiment, and you know, a new material, handle material. I put these nice like brass liners on the handle. I'd never tried that. This desert ironwood handle, so they're really nice. But I made this and just experimented with it. I just made it as an experimental piece that I didn't think I was going to care that much about. But man, it's just, I love this thing. But I mean, I've beat the absolute crap out of this, and it's pretty tough stuff. But yeah, I'd say this one. I've thought about making these. I mean, it's really thick, and it kind of shows the era of like knife making that I came into, because there was like a period of time where everyone in the outdoor bushcraft community wanted really, really thick knives so you could like baton with them and do all that. It was like the era of survival knives. Take our piece of sacrificial steel and drop it in our oil, let that heat up. Heat up the oil. You want the oil to be somewhat heated before quenching. We're going to take a look at our blade. Make sure everything's still on the straight line. Just got a little wave to it, but that's fine. Knock that out real quick. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite project. Either that or some of the, I really like metal casting too. Some of my metal casting stuff's been really cool, which I'm going to do a little bit of that once I'm done doing this. How long's the stream been going? Does it not say? No, okay. Let's say, go ahead and get this guy in here. We're going to keep it moving. Now, I'm also really a big fan of this knife I'm making right now, actually, honestly, because it's just a really cool concept. It's just another tool that I'm turning into this, you know, making it for a friend, and I think it's really cool that I really like making knives and tools for people who I know are going to use them. I've made knives in the past for people who literally said they were just going to stick it on a shelf to look pretty. And it's like, I like to make my knives like that knife I just showed you is, you know, way thick. It's a little bit overbuilt, you know, for most things that I'm going to use it for, which is fine. That's kind of what I wanted. We're going to go ahead and straighten this guy out just a little bit. And I noticed a little bit of a warp. Most of these warps are going to be fine because I'll be able to get them out in the final grind. But I know the guy I'm making it for is going to take it out and actually use it and show it to other people who may want some, who I know are going to go out and, you know, use tools. 396 viewers? Oh, the local 396 Ironworkers Union. Yeah, I know those guys are going to go out and, if I make a tool for them, they're going to go out and use it. I think that's really, it's really cool. I don't really like making stuff for people who are just going to leave it in a box or put it on a shelf, because I make tools. I don't like making what I like to call wall hangers. I had a guy, he was like, oh, can you make me a sword and make it out of this? I think it was like rebar. It was rebar, but rebar will not, you can get it to harden. But I told him, I'm like, I'm probably not going to be able to get this to harden. He's like, oh, I don't ever really plan on using it. And it's like, I don't know. I just kind of don't like that personally. That's just not my philosophy when it comes to knife making, tool making. We're just moving the workpiece in and out just to get it nice even heat on it. Move it more towards the back, out of the way, because I want the middle of it to heat up a little bit more, because the tip's a little hotter than the rest of it. Just about there. What I'm going to do, I've got this magnet here to make sure that it's up to critical temperature. I'm going to go ahead and see if it'll stick to that magnet, because you want to take your steel to non-magnetic temperature. Hopefully, I don't know anything about this steel, but hopefully when we go to quench this here in about 30 seconds, Joey, would you want to grab the camera and maybe disconnect it and bring it over? We're going to be dunking your knife here in a second. But hopefully we don't get a warp. I think we might, but we're going to have fingers crossed. You can disconnect it from the that's fine. All right. So what we're going to do not sticking to the magnet, and we're gonna put it in. Oh, that piece of metal's still there. Now we're not gonna heat up the handle too much. You wanna bring it a little closer? It's not gonna flare up or anything, but yeah. So we're gonna get this, kind of move it around. We're just trying to quench the blade and the edge of the knife. We don't wanna get the handle too much. I mean, this is a big piece of steel though for the handle, so I'm not really that worried about it. So we're gonna get this cooled down as much as possible. And you see, you can kind of see the line where the oil was. That may change the color, maybe a little different. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now, since we're not up to too hot of a temperature, we're gonna put the whole thing in there. Let all that heat come off. And we're gonna, fingers crossed, make sure that there's no warp in it. Now, if there is a warp, there's a couple ways to get that out. In what we do, what they don't really show on like Forged in Fire and other TV shows and stuff. Thank you, Joey. What they don't really show on a lot of those is that the heat treatment. So they'll show the quenching, but what they don't show is the fact that you have to like put it in about 400-degree heat for a couple hours, and you'll get different temper colors. Which temper colors I'll show you. I'll do a live demonstration because I'm going to heat up this piece of metal anyway. So steel. That's the wrong pair of tongs. Silver and everything in the beginning. So at different temperatures, it will. Am I still centered all right? Okay. Now watch it creep in. You'll see these colors in the corner here. You'll see like a straw color, then a gold, then a blue, then a purple, then a silver. So you can kind of see, actually it looks a lot better on this side, I think. So you want the edge of your knife to be straw colored because that's still hard enough to be a good edge, but soft enough to where it's not going to be brittle. Perfect. Okay, cool. But yeah, so I'm going to take the back of Joey's knife and I'm going to take it to that blue color, and I'm going to try to keep the edge a straw color is what we're shooting for. So that's kind of what we want with temper colors. This is 1095 American Steel Company. We're going to get that heated up. Man, these tongs are loose, or tight rather. I need to make a new pair or forge these ones to where they're a little bit thinner. So we're going to take this, grab a different hammer. It's a fun thing about being a blacksmith, so you have to have like so many different kinds of tools. Take this, I'm going to take this medium weight hammer, kind of consolidate, push in a little bit. He wants what? Bullpen knife, absolutely. We're going to check on his knife here in just a second. I'm going to start getting this kind of brought in a little bit more. You know, actually, I think for my fire steel for my giveaway, I don't think I am going to use this piece. I think this. I thought this was my 3/16, but it's way too thin for that. But I will show you those temper colors a little bit better. 532, heck yeah. So you'll see right there, kind of got the straw color, gold color, blue, purple, silver. Yeah, we're going to take his knife out. We're going to clean it up a bit. I'm going to say forget this piece of metal for right now. Because that's too thin. I want it to be a much more substantial fire steel. I'll probably go grab that real quick. Actually, we're going to pull his knife out so we can take a look. Fingers crossed, everyone. Finger crossing the emoji in the chat to see if, for luck, to make sure make sure this comes out of the quench straight. I don't want to pull it out until we get some. Let me know if we get any finger cross or four-leaf clovers in the chat. I'm a little worried. I have never worked with a steel before, so move it around. Still got a little bit of heat on it, I see, but I think we're gonna pull it out. All right, that's our final product. Looks like it took a little bit of a warp, but I can get that out in the grind. I'm not worried about that. I am definitely happy with that. Still pretty hot. Woo, yep. We're gonna set that there and not let that fall because it is extremely hard right now. It's like, it should be like glass. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off just for a second, and I'm gonna go grab a file. I'll be right back. Just keep finding things I didn't realize I like to watch and keep watching. LOL. Heck yeah. Hi from Iran. Hello from USA. But yeah, no, it's crazy the rabbit holes that YouTube. Sorry, I'm off camera right now. I'm just grabbing a file I forgot to grab. But yeah, it's crazy the rabbit holes YouTube will have you going down. I mean, that's, to be honest, that's where I learned most of my skills from, was just being perfect. Get a half round file. We're just seeing if the steel is hard enough to skate a file, which, fingers crossed again, hopefully it should be. So when you've got a non-hardened steel, use this as an example, you can cut into it. You hear it's not very dull sound. What you want from a hardened steel my anvil should be not hardened, or my anvil should be hardened rather. You want the sound kind of like this. But you hear how it's not. You can hear dull sound, high pitched sound. But yeah, Joey's knife's looking good. Oh, that sounds hard. Oh yeah, that is definitely hard. I'm excited about that. I was worried with this new kind of steel I've never worked with that it was going to be a whole process to get that hardened right. She's still pretty hot, but it's a pretty big piece of metal. But it's cool enough now where I can put it in the water. We're going to have to go clean that up so we can see the temper colors, because I'm going to teach you guys the medieval way to temper knives and other tools. A very low tech way to do that. And for that, we're going to use our sacrificial piece of steel, and we're going to put it back in the forge. Now it's going to catch on fire because there's oil on it, but that's okay. Forges are supposed to be hot. Start our forge back up. Then I grab this knife, make sure it's not too hot. Clean her up as much. Ooh, that's the thing about this big chunk of steel is, man, it holds on to heat. A lot of energy stored in there. So we're going to go ahead and clean her up very gently. Oh yeah, that's a hard piece of steel. I left enough forge scale on there while I was forging it to give it a nice crunchy look, so it'll look rugged and forged. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the belt sander real quick while that piece of metal's heating up. And pardon the noise in advance. Get this cleaned so we can see the steel clear. Mystic Forge indoors right now. Sorry for the noise, everyone. Shouldn't take but a second. Oh, very hard steel. Okay. Got one side done, going to the other side. Sorry you can't see the belt sander right now. My garage is too much of a mess to show anybody. Gotta love the sound of power tools. All right, so we got enough of this cleaned up. Bring it to you guys so you can see. We got enough of this cleaned up where we can see the shiny bits, where we can see down in the steel. It's also making sure there's no cracks or anything, but we got enough of this forge scale ground off to where we'll be able to see the colors. I don't see a lot of blacksmiths or knife makers doing this anymore. I saw it a lot when I first started, but I don't see a lot of people do it this way anymore. I mean, to be fair, there are a lot better ways to do this. Like, I mean, honestly, the best way for me to do this, to temper this, is to just throw it in my oven 400 degrees for 2 hours, which I may still do that, but I'm going to show you guys this initial way to do it because it's interesting, and it's a lot more interesting to watch than actually. We can come over here and hold this for a second. I don't want to have it roll off the anvil. It's glass hard right now. So what we're going to do, take our piece of steel, take that, it may catch on fire. I think there's a little bit of oil on there. Would you like to bring the camera a little closer again? You can disconnect from the phone the cable this time if you want. So what we're going to do, so you guys hear me okay? Get right up in here. We're going to be right, so we're going to let this piece of steel, we'll run back and forth on this really hot piece of metal, and eventually those forge colors, you don't want to do it on the edge because you don't want your edge to get too hot too fast. You'll kind of see the colors creep in. It's important to keep checking. It's a little soon for it, but you want to do the back of the knife because the back of the knife needs to get hotter than the rest. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit the side a little bit just to make sure the colors are fairly even. And they'll come in pretty quick. I see a little bit of gold coming in. May not be picking up on the camera very well. We're going to let this pick up heat from this, and it'll travel through the blade. Not worried about it burning my hand because this piece of steel is so big it's going to act like a heat sink. I may want to get this heated up a little bit more, this piece of steel. I find that when I'm checking the temperature colors, the temper colors, it's good to tilt as you go, because if you're looking at one thing, so I can see my reflection of my apron, which is like a suede tan color. I can see the reflection of that, and I don't want that to affect the actual color, so tilting it make sure that we're not losing any temper colors that we're not seeing. Yeah, I definitely didn't get this piece of steel very hot. I need to get a little bit warmer. But the thing about these colors is they can just creep in super, super fast. Yeah, I can definitely see a little bit of a warp, but I can definitely take that out during the grind. And I don't want to get the tip, because the tip's going to heat up the fastest because it's got the least amount of metal. It is starting to rain. sprinkle a little bit. Sorry if this isn't the most interesting thing, guys. Thought I'd share it with you, though. I don't think this piece of steel is hot enough. We're going to go ahead and take it to our non-burning forge. Which do you want to come in over this way? Our forge should have enough residual heat. Oh, that's definitely hot, though. Woo-hoo-hoo. Pillsbury Doughboy action. You want to come in right here? So we're going to go in and out of the forge concept. Just a lot more residual heat. This is my little cheapo forge. Pull it out, check it. You're not going to lose a lot of heat doing that. Kind of bring it in where I know a lot of the heat lives when I'm forging. Yeah, you can see those temper colors coming in on the tip. Now I'm going to go ahead and let those come in. And that tip's getting a little bit much, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in a little bit of water. And let the rest of the knife, I'm going to keep the tip away from the biggest part of the heat. I'm going to let that come in. You can kind of see it turning golden. I think I've got the opposite problem here. Go ahead and flip her around. Very carefully. This will kind of protect it from the heat, because we want the rest of the knife to get a little bit hotter than that part. We want kind of the heat to travel from the handle through the blade. I usually will use a blowtorch for this, for my initial, because I like to differentially heat treat. So I'll make the back a lot softer because it's tougher that way, but this way I thought was a little more interesting to show you guys. Now it's important you keep moving it and making sure that the temperatures get moved all over. Kind of see the colors creeping down now. Got that gold edge. You just don't want your edge to get like blue or purple. It's okay if it does. It's not going to be a huge deal. But definitely better if you keep the edge as straw or gold as possible with the temper colors. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna. So I think now that we've got kind of a gold color or straw throughout, I think we're gonna call it there. We're gonna cool this off a bit. I'm gonna do the rest of the temperature treatment, the rest of the tempering. Now that I'm not worried about cracking the blade, we're gonna go ahead and arrest the progress of this. Yeah, see that? This will help get some of that forge scale off, but we just want to keep that heat from traveling anymore. Oh yeah, it's definitely hot. So I'm gonna do the rest of that at a later time. But I want to get to the casting because I'm very excited to do it. Now that can go in the water, sit for a minute and think about what it's done. Then we're gonna teach you guys how to get set up with this. I think I'm gonna grab supplies, and I think I'm gonna scoot the whole thing closer so we can, so that way you don't have to hold the camera for 40 minutes. Yeah, get our sacrificial piece of steel out of here. I just like using this piece because it's easy to move around. It's enough heat to dump into the oil. Sizzle, sizzle. And it's good for doing stuff like that. It's big enough for where it's good for that, but it's not so big that it's unwieldy. So we're gonna get into the second portion. We'll start my forge back up so it has a little bit of time to heat up and everything. Show you guys how to do all this. That's not important. Let's see. Hi from 3-1 Atlas. Welcome. Welcome everyone who's new. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. We're doing a little foraging, a little bit of we're making some stuff. Blacksmithing, we're foraging, we're casting. All kinds of stuff on this channel. We make all kinds of stuff. We're also an outdoor channel. I say we, but it's, you know, mostly me. So, I've got how many? 541. We've gotten 42 subscribers since I started. So, I'm going to bring you guys a little closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Hopefully I don't dump you guys. Let's see. I think I want to bring you guys up a little higher. Can you take me higher? For us millennials out here. Yeah. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out as a setup. I think let's get hold on. Perfect. I mean, that works. Okay, you got it. You got it, cameraman Joey. All right, so we got a couple things here. Oh, I have this hat on still. That's my waterproofing hat. So we've got body powder. We've got this weird little cup. We've got this guy, which holds the weird little cup. We've got this weird sand. And we've got this mysterious container of white powder, which is just borax powder. Don't worry anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and we got this little tart stamper. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. But go ahead and break up this sand. What this is called Delft clay. Or Delft clay sand, Delft sand. And I'm gonna show you guys Delft clay sand casting. Mix in a little bit of this other casting sand because I'm getting low on supplies. Will you go in the garage there and under that tent on the oven there's like a little sifter. It's like a little strainer thing. Whoop. Almost. I gotta readjust the camera.
Oh no.
All right, are we back? Can you see me? All right, sorry about that, everyone. The camera fell and locked the screen, so it shut everything off. Thank you, sir. So what we're doing, yeah, we're doing a little bit of casting. Very old technique. This is just some sand with some clay and oil, I think, mixed in. I think Delft clay casting, Delft sand casting is what it's called. Teach you guys how to do this. Right now we're just kind of processing it and making it a little bit more fine. It's not a very important step. In fact, I'd say it's probably good enough for what we're doing. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. I already got a little crucible set up here. So this is just a little ceramic crucible. And I've got some high quality brass in there. You see that all right? High quality brass in there. Some cat hairs. That's very important. We're going to set this on the... I'm actually going to turn the forge off for a second because you don't want this to get too hot too fast. I'm going to add a little bit of borax to the top of this. And what borax does with this is keeps it from, set it on top, keeps the, it's a bit much, but it keeps the metal moving easier. It keeps oxides from forming. So we're going to set that in the forge. Just let that kind of get some of the residual heat. Hopefully that crucible doesn't crack. Set this aside for now. We've got this. Bye. We've got this, which will be our container for this. But what we're going to cast is this. It's a little coin that I made out of it's called carving wax, and it's got a sun, and it's got a symbol for good luck, basically. I got my pretty pink makeup brush I stole from my wife. Please don't tell her. Please don't hit me if you're watching this, wife. So we're going to take this and our Delft sand. We're going to take, we always start with the male bit, which is the part that has that. We're going to set it on the forge, or on the anvil rather. We're going to pack some in there. And this is kind of like kinetic sand, I would say. Am I centered all right? See what I'm doing? Cool, 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 cool. I'm going to put that in there. Pack it down. Packs like kinetic sand. It's pretty cool stuff. We'll pack that down. We're going to get our tart stamper, which who would have thunk that baked goods tools would be good for something in metalwork. Sorry, show you guys. Pack that down. Get that pretty packed down, because we just want kind of a flat surface to start with on the inside. I'm gonna pack that down the rest of the way because that's important for later. You can use a hammer for this if you want to, but I find that this little tart stamper is perfect. Try not to lose too much of my sand while I'm showing you guys. I usually do this on like a little table and scoop up all the stuff. There's a little piece of brass in there. That's fine. Pack that down. That's good. See that it's pretty flat there. Scoop up our precious sand. Get that in there. Fire up this forge for just a second. Just to get some more heat on that. I'm going to turn it around so it heats evenly. Because I would hate for this to crack when we're a little further along. But I also don't want it to get molten before I'm done making my mold, because that's what we're doing right now. Put a little too much in there, but that's okay. So we're going to take our original carving. I'm going to go ahead and put this side down. You're going to put it just about in the center, very lightly, since this is just wax. Push down on it. Nope, I skipped a whole step. We're going to put a little bit of this as body powder, because that'll keep the two halves from sticking together. Put some on there. That's part of what our pretty pink makeup brush is for. So we're just spreading this around. Dusting, put a light dusting of that on there. Not too much, because you don't want it to mess up the design. Oh, that was too much. I'm gonna put that there. That's a good example of too much. I'm gonna move that around. The rest of that we're gonna try to tap off on there. Spread it around. This is definitely not my best work. We're gonna go ahead and turn this forge back off for a second. So like I said, it's a little early for all that. I'm actually going to go ahead, I'm going to do something I usually don't do, because I overfilled this. Use a knife to scrape off some excess. Make a little bit of a indent, see where we're at, because we want this more like that. Perfect. We want that flat on the outside. Then we're going to come back in with some more of this Delft clay. Sprinkle some in. We want it to be pretty loose. And we're going to overfill it again. I'm going to get this big chunk out of here. You want this to ideally be as small as possible, as fine a dust as possible. I've never mixed this before with the Teton black sand before, so I've got red and black sand. The red sand's a little more expensive and a little finer, but I was getting low on it, so we're gonna go ahead and put that there. Bring back our friend the tart stamper. Push down on it. Really get some pressure on it. And while holding it still, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it in around it a little bit. This is kind of not my usual way of doing this, but I was slacking on filling that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out to show you guys kind of what it's supposed to look like. And it put the design in there. And that's important. I am a fool. I shouldn't have taken it out. But it's important to have that design be there. See if I can line this up exactly. What do we think, chat? Do we think we think we got it? My assistant says no. Oh, it looked pretty good. All right, we're gonna put a little bit more sand down. All right, a little bit more sand down, a little fluffy again. Bring it in again. Put a little bit of more dust on the top. A little bit more dust on the bottom. And you don't want to use too much of this for a couple reasons. One of them is too much of this body powder, talcum powder, whatever you want to call it, will mess up your sand. So I'm going to put this over the top, and I'm going to go ahead and tap it in with this very tiny hammer. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to get a lot of really good detail, and it's going to get it in pretty deep. It's also going to loosen the piece that I'm casting. It's going to loosen that piece and make it easier to pull out later. So we're going to go ahead and level that out. That should be good. I'm not pulling it out again. Learned my lesson. We're going to take a little bit of this dust. We're going to get that, probably too much, but you know, we're just doing demonstration purposes right now. Put that there. Then we're going to put the other half, the female bit that accepts the other half. Put that on there. And while holding the workpiece down, I'm going to go ahead and tap it on because this thing has sand in it. Just about goof, chat. I can say that now. I'm streaming. So we want that in there. That makes like a little container. We have it all the way around, closed up. But we have our workpiece in the center. So now, with this side, which I like to use, I like to put the more detailed side on the top because you can be a lot more gentle with the top bit. Put this in, get really fine dust. It's just a little bit easier to do on this side. Make sure that none of this is too big. Gotta turn my forge back on. I hear it cooling off. A little too much. Make a really fine dust. Is this entertaining for you guys? Is this a process you like to see? I know I had to restart a couple times. But yeah, so got that really nice fine dust in there. Now we can pack that down. I have lost my tart tamper. I have found my tart stamper. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that. I'm going to go ahead and push it down with my fingers first. Get that nice, really fine stuff. I really want it around my piece that I'm casting. And now we can put in the thicker stuff. We're gonna hurry up and get this done for you guys. Because I'm gonna make a couple of these. I don't think I'm gonna live stream making all of them. I'll probably finish the live stream after this, because that way I can do some work on this knife and make these other pieces. You'll have to subscribe to see what all I'm gonna make. But yeah, once I show you this process, which this is how you can make jewelry, you can make coins, you can make all kinds of cool stuff. Now I'm putting my finger over the hole, really packed down. Looks like I put in just about the perfect amount. But yeah, I've made knife bolsters and other cool things, runes, which I might make a whole set of runes this way. Now we've gotten that loosened up. We're gonna go ahead and pull her apart. Grab that. Try to wiggle this apart, and that dust, if all went well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my crucible. Has all my metal in it, so it doesn't get too hot on one side. Start that back up. I don't have it completely in the fire yet. Yeah, these forges are hot. Joey's probably a good 10 feet away from my forge. Very light taps. We're going to try to loosen this up. But yeah, these forges, I think my second live stream I overheated and got a little bit of heat exhaustion and very dehydrated because I was in the sun. I was in front of the forge. Now it's very important. I have a special tool for this. It's a little cheapy knife. It's very important that we're very gentle pulling this apart so we don't lose any of the details. You can kind of see it prying up. So use this to very gently pry this open. And hopefully you'll have something that looks like that. Got a lot of the good detail. And I'll show you what to do next. Keep our handy dandy little cheapy knife. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one of the next part of the step. I'm going to show you guys how to do the pouring channel. I'm going to keep this here. I'm going to make a V cut that matches up with this hole on the outside. And this is where I'm going to pour the molten metal in. It'll be, I promise guys, it'll get exciting. So this will be where I pour the molten metal. That's another reason I like to use this pretty pink makeup brush. Go ahead and brush that in there, smooth everything out. Get any loose dust out of there because you don't want that to fall in your mold. I really think there's a lot of good detail on here, so that's pretty good. Now we're going to come in not quite all the way down to our piece like we did on the other side because we don't want to mess up the mold. So we're just making the other half of a funnel here basically. Pretty pink brush. Get that garbage out of there. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're new, I'm making casting a cool good luck coin. Sun coin. 551 on subs. Wow. I think this is the most subs I've gotten in a day. That's awesome. All right, so now we're going to very gently, I'm going to go ahead and tap it a little bit just to loosen it up. Should be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and very carefully pull that out of there. Ooh, lots of good detail on that. Wow, yeah. This is going to be a good one, I think, guys. So what we're going to do is I am going to carve just a little bit into there. Get that going. I always want to use my finger, but I should use the pretty pink brush I stole from my wife. Put that there. I think I knocked out a little bit of detail just then, but that's okay. Our metal is molten, so that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and grab you guys and show you that real quick. That looks like. Yeah, oh, that'll be in the video. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But yeah, see, you can see there, I don't know if I can zoom in, but that metal is a molten blob in the middle of that borax. So I'm going to go ahead and put you back here. Actually, Joey, would you want to hold that? I don't think I set that there, but I got to... That's the thing about brass is it has zinc in it, and if that zinc catches on fire, it releases a poisonous gas that I don't want to deal with. hose are up, holding it upside down so the funnel's on the bottom. Pushed in on a little bit, which is not good, but that's okay. I think it'll be fine. Go ahead and put that in there. We got some sand in there. That's what our problem is. We're going to go ahead and very, very gently tap this shut. Hold it upside down so anything that falls out will just fall out and not go on our workpiece. I missed a step. I forgot to do vent holes, which I don't find to be very important for this, but a lot of people swear by it. We're going to put it in this holder. Looks like we got that crucible right in the perfect spot in that forge, which is good. This is just a little holder. It keeps all the sand together. Tilt it upside down, get any extra loose stuff out of there. My goodness. Oh, I'm not even spinning it. That's why. I promise I know what I'm doing. Scrape off some extra stuff. We got it locked in. It's going to stand up for us. It's got our funnel right there. Actually, I'm going to pull out a little bit more of that sand. Sounds like our forge is not burning right. Do not breathe. Go over there. Everything's getting a little hot. You can see that white smoke. Overheat a little bit. Will you throw me that right glove, please? All right. Gonna turn this piece around. Try not to breathe too much because zinc gas is a very bad thing to breathe in. This is why it's always good to be in a well-ventilated area. So we're gonna take our molten metal and we're just gonna go boop, pour it right in. Oh no, was it tilted down enough? Okay, cool. So, got that extra, we got that molten metal, we got a little bit of extra. We're just gonna dump it in the water real quick. Make something called shot. Your knife's fine. Now we're gonna set this back in here. And now, we play the waiting game. We're just essentially waiting for this metal to solidify, which I'm sure it already is. I'm sure this metal's solidified and not super hard. Famous last words. So, this doesn't tend to get too hot because the sand insulates it. Actually, here, let me say that again, please. Sorry. We are gonna go ahead and set this over here just for a second. I'm gonna bring in my handy dandy crusty rusty frying pan. It's got past projects and other stuff in here. This is where I usually open up my piece because you don't want your burnt sand to mix with your good sand. You also don't want molten metal or recently molten metal to touch plastic, so get that out of there. You guys excited to see the final result? I know I am. Let's see if I'm a failure on live YouTube. I don't even remember forging or casting this, but it's apparently I cast a possum jaw in brass with real possum hair on it. So we're gonna do that. Moment of truth. Do you want to bring her in a little bit, Joey? I'm gonna crack her like an egg while pulling it apart. Oh, it fell off the side. That's okay. Ooh. Ooh, guys. I got a little preview. Not gonna lie. All right. Moment of truth, everyone. Ooh. That got a lot of good detail. Look at that. Heck yeah. And since this isn't steel, we're gonna go ahead and let her sizzle. That's awesome. That one turned out really well. Now this one is taken. This one's already spoken for. But the this stuff on the back, that's it's basically a good luck symbol. And that's a sun, a very crudely drawn sun. I wanted it to look primitive. But yeah, that one came out really well. I think we're gonna check on this knife. Yeah, thanks everyone who's subscribed. Thanks everyone who's watching. Really motivate me to get out here and do some stuff. Are you guys interested in watching me cast some more stuff? I mean, I kind of walked you through the process. So there's a little defect right here. A little bit of a defect right there, but otherwise, I mean, this thing turned out great. I'm just gonna cut it right there, sand up the outside, but I mean, that turned out spectacular. So much detail on there. But yeah. I've made a couple of those. It's greasy. You don't want to touch it. But unless you want to. I mean, you can touch it if you want. But I've made a couple. Move this? No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm a jibber jabber. I made one of these that I carry with me. I'll probably put a mirror polish on that other one. Maybe some hammer marks on the side, just to make it a little bit nicer. But yeah, if you guys are interested in something like that, I'm gonna probably have a couple of these. I'll make like custom coins, like just random stuff I think is cool. But yeah, I'm gonna cast in that same way. If you guys are interested, let's see. Wow, that's nice. I thought it came out pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Let's see. Welcome everyone who's new to the chat. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a couple things for the giveaway, which I'm just gonna leave these around town. I'm gonna do a bear claw. I'm gonna do an arrowhead. It's not the best arrowhead that I've ever napped. Actually, I think it probably is. It's a pretty cool arrowhead. I just started doing this, so it's not like perfect, but I'm gonna cast this in brass. So I think that'd be cool. I think I'm also gonna do, I made a little itty bitty guy version of it. I mean, they're pretty similar styles. So I'm gonna cast those. I might cast another coin. I'm gonna cast this little bone pendant. It kind of looks like Hornet or whatever her name is from Silk Song. Ruh-roh. But yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of those, and I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a coin. I'm gonna cast all these. I think I'm gonna do 5, one for each 100 subscribers that I had. Celebration of 500 subscribers, because it's a good mile mark. It means now my videos can get hyped. It also means that it's the first big part of getting my channel monetized, which, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to live off of it, but I mean, any extra money that comes in on the side is going to be awesome. So yeah, this is just a little project for me. I'm just going to cast another one of these because this one broke. I would probably thicken that up, make that nice. But yeah, if I get some people telling me they're interested in watching some more of the metal casting, I'll definitely keep doing that on the live stream. But I think, if not, I think I'm gonna call it here. That way I can get some lunch in me and work on some after work on these knives. Get this knife to its final shape so Mr. Joey here can have his knife, which we forged in our last live stream. And this time we heat treated it. I'm gonna do the final heat treat on here. It's got that straw color, but we want a little bit deeper of a straw color like that. I'm gonna use a blowtorch. I just didn't think it was interesting enough really to keep on the live stream. But yeah, really cool bullpen knife he's gonna use. He's part of the local Ironworkers Union. 396. Cool number. But yeah, I'm gonna do that and do the final little bits of this. I'll probably post a picture of this on Facebook and on my post on my channel, show the final product. But yeah, But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. We've kind of tapered off a little bit on the viewers, so just really wanted to thank everyone who subscribed sincerely. I mean, it's so awesome. Keep an eye out for that subscriber giveaway because that's going to be really soon. It should be
556 subs.
556 subs. Yeah, I didn't even have. I was at 499 when I started. So I mean, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, well, this live stream, as for all of them, are going to be put up on the channel. I'm going to definitely start working on the stuff for that giveaway. I'm going to work on the video for that too. So it's probably going to be up in about a week. As being generous. It may be up sooner than that. My schedule is kind of weird at work. Like this weekend I have off, but some other weekends I'm going to not have off. It's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to get it done as I go. Film it in any way I can. We're supposed to be getting a lot of rain, so I won't be able to do a lot of filming outside. So I'll have to figure out something inside, an easy way to set up and work in there. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Really, sincerely means the world to me. I thought maybe I would have 50 subscribers at this point, but I mean, it's really incredible that you guys are, supporting me on this and giving me your time and think what I'm doing is interesting enough to watch and subscribe. So, I from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it so much. It means everything to me. But until next time, get out in the woods, stay safe, maybe make something, and thanks again for subscribing. Watch out for that 500 subscriber giveaway video. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.